I'm about to share with you 5 tips to improve your wargaming in 2018. And that's coming right up. Welcome back, and it is great to have you here. And look, if this is your first time here, here's what's up. If you want to improve your wargaming, make your tabletop battles more epic, and give your wargaming budget more power, then be sure to smash the subscribe button below and ding the bell. That way you won't miss anything. And hey, before we get started, what are you doing to improve your wargaming in 2018? Chuck it in the comment section below. We'd love to hear about it. Okay, so tip number 1 is don't use net lists. Now, in the age of the internet, you can get lists off of the internet really easily, but I'm saying don't do it because they won't help you get any better. The simple fact is that the people that made those lists understand them very well, and each unit has a very specific role. So unless you're the person that made that list, you're not going to be able to use it the way that it's intended to be used. You may be able to mimic it closely, but you won't be able to get the full potential out of it like you would out of a list that you made yourself. Which of course means that if you're up against someone of a similar or equal skill and they have a list they have made themselves, they're going to have an advantage over you because they're going to understand the inner workings of their list more closely, and they'll be able to use it more effectively than you would with a net list. In addition to this, knowing how to create a list is a very important part of being successful at wargaming, and if you're using a list someone else has made, then you're not going to learn how to make a list yourself that works best for your playstyle. Tip numero dos. The truth is, I don't speak Spanish. Tip number 2 is to give yourself a handicap. Now, one of the best and easiest ways to do this is to give yourself less points than the points value game you're playing. So, say for example, you're playing a 1500 point game, then make it so that you limit your list to 1300 points. This will put your list at a natural disadvantage to your opponent, and it will put you in a situation where you have to think outside the box and use every point that you have more effectively. This will help you to train your brain to be able to spot what does work, what doesn't work, and what is just wasted in your list, and allow you to write a more effective list, as well as give you a better understanding of how different units work in a pinch. Now, I wouldn't recommend doing this in a tournament because obviously you're there to try and win, and putting yourself at a disadvantage off the bat is not going to help you. However, when you do give yourself a handicap, make sure that you don't tell your opponent that you have less points than they think you have, because it will put them in a position where they might not try as hard because they know they already have an advantage. Of course, this will defeat the purpose of giving yourself a handicap, as it's supposed to force you to find ways to improve, and if your opponent's not playing at their best, then you're not going to have as much of a challenge and it's not going to push your limits. Okay, so tip number 3 is to make battle reports. Now, this is a fantastic tool for improving your performance on the tabletop because of 2 reasons. Reason number 1 is it allows you to critically analyze after the game exactly what you did right and what you did wrong, and things that you could do better. In addition to this, if you take your battle report and post it up online, there are lots of people who are more than willing to criticize your tactics if you ask them. And it will allow you to be able to spot mistakes that you might not have been able to spot yourself. This will, as a result of being aware of these mistakes, allow you to fix them and improve your wargaming. Now, just to be clear, I'm not saying you have to make a video of your games. You can if you want and you have the time, but battle reports take a long time to edit. I know that mine take close to 20 hours of editing to make, which of course not all of us have. So if you are time poor, then a good way to still be able to make battle reports is to do a written report. It's a lot quicker to make, and you can still throw it up for other people to critically analyze. If you are doing a written report, then I recommend filming the game so you have a record of it, which you can then go over later and write out a written battle report based off of that film. That way, you don't have to spend the 20 odd hours editing, but you still get to critically analyze everything you did and be able to check and make sure that what you're writing in your written report is what happened. So tip number 4 is to play someone similar to you. And what I mean by this is play someone that has the same army, similar play style, and they are of a similar skill level to you. This one, like tip 3, is all about analyzing what you do well and what you do wrong, as well as the strengths and weaknesses of your army. And the reason why this is so effective is that when you're playing against someone, you're a lot more honest with yourself as to what they're doing right and what they're doing wrong and what they could do better. You're looking for their weaknesses a lot more closely, and of course if they are similar to you, that means that you are now spotting your strengths, your weaknesses, and what you could do better. And tip number 5 are for those of you that are only playing one army at the moment and are looking at starting another. I highly recommend that you pick an army that is diametrically opposite to what you play at the moment. So if you play a horde shooty army, go find a low model count close combat army to play. It will flip your way of thinking on its head and force you to move outside of the box and push your limits. This will mean that when you go back to your original army and you fight against an army that is very different to it, you will know what the army you're fighting is good at and what they're not so good at. This will of course give you an advantage on the tabletop. And bonus tip is to watch Ordnance Wargaming, because hashtag shameless self-plug, that's what all the kids are doing these days, hashtags, that's cool, right? No, it's not cool anymore? Okay. Because, hey, watching other people play and analyzing them is a good way to get some ideas for what you can do better and how you can get better at wargaming. So there you go. There are 5 tips that you can use to improve your wargaming in 2018, plus a bonus one, so it's 5 plus 1. It's not 6, it's 5 plus 1. So let us know what you think in the comment section below, and if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up so we know that you like it, so we can keep making stuff that you like. And as always, if you want to improve your wargaming, make your tabletop battles more epic, and give your wargaming budget more power, then be sure to smash the crosshair and ding the bell. You'll subscribe and I'll be able to share with you more battle reports, terrain tutorials, and strategies to make your wargaming experience more epic. And I'll see you next time.